Hello agents, and welcome back to another Division video. And shock, over 2 days this is my second video where I'm not going to do a build or I'm not going to do a guide. We've got another update on yesterday's video where we talked about the optimization station and how the incoming 12.1 reduction in cost of 75%, I think that is too much, and I think it's going to turn endgame into clicking menus to get god roll gear rather than actually playing the game. Now, when I did that video yesterday, I didn't really expand on my thoughts too much. I focused very much on how I think the cost is too high at the moment, but I think the reduction is going to make it too low and that clicking menus will become the end game. But there's other reasons behind that, and I wanted to kind of get them reasonings out in a separate video about drops and rainbow loot and drop rates. And I think that's really the core problem of why we feel like we need the optimization, because these things are still not right. Rainbow loot, let's start there. That has been a discussion in the division for a long time, and they've made some changes recently, and it does seem to have helped. But the problem with adjusting rainbow loot too much is a build like this. If we look at my skill build, I use 2 group ore. Now group ore comes with blue. So if the main core attribute is blue, then the attributes tend to roll blue. Now, these pieces of gear are so hard to come by now, and this is the best way for explosive damage in a skill build. So it just doesn't make much sense for them to adjust rainbow loot any more than what it already is. They're already making certain builds and certain hybrid type builds really hard to attain. Getting a double yellow skill damage skill haste on a group O is really hard, and that's just to build a max explosive damage build. So I don't think they should be adjusting rainbow loot anymore. I think they should be looking at the amount of drops that we get during a mission and then the quality of them drops as well. And the reason I say that is because people play this game differently. You have people that play by themselves, you have people that play in 2s, 3s and 4s, you have people that don't like to play with randoms, and you have groups of people like me who are lucky enough to have people to play with every day, and we can run the raid and get all kinds of loot, and we can do legendaries, and we can do all the hardest content in the game and attain loot and share it between us quite easily. But then there comes a time where I get the exact polar opposite of that. So I jump on the game by myself and I run a mission. Getting drops in a mission by yourself is horrendous. The loot just does not drop. There is no sign of loot sometimes throughout an entire mission until you get to the boss at the end if you're playing solo. You are heavily punished in this game for playing by yourself, in a duo, or sometimes even as a 3. If you're not farming loot in a team of 4, you're being severely punished, and I don't feel like that's how it should be. I think if we rained more loot, and it doesn't necessarily need to be better quality, because by raining loot, they're then giving us these optimization station materials that will then help you pay for that really expensive cost to get what you got to god roll. Fix the amount of loot that we're getting in missions. Fix the amount of loot we're getting in general around the game. Unless you're in 4-player, the game really suffers. You can run an entire mission solo and not get anything but boss drops. And the fact that that can take you 20 minutes in some cases, or even longer in some of the newer New York missions and things like that, feels really off. It doesn't feel like you're being forced to then matchmake if none of your friends are online and play with randoms. And not everybody wants to do that. I get this is a co-op game, but not everybody wants to play this game co-op. You can play the game from start to finish. You can do all the content in the game solo apart from the raids. So why punish these people who want to play in solo or duo groups by giving them hardly any loot? They're just going to walk away from the game, because then they're going to see the cost of the optimization station as well, and it's Everest. It's so hard for them to climb that mountain, to become top tier, to become god rolled throughout and achieve, you know, even a basic all red M1A build like this where everything is optimized. It's just so hard for the general player to achieve this because of how low that drop rate is for gear. And that's really my main purpose of making this video. I think optimization would be looked at less harshly. 300 backpacks, yeah. 300 chest pieces, yeah. That is a lot. But if it was raining loot all the time and you felt good about running a mission, whether in 1, 2, 3 or 4 player, you would have plenty of them materials and then that cost would not seem that high. I think the focus needs to come away from the optimization station for a little while. I fear it's too late. I think 12.1's it's coming next week. We've not had a PTS for it. I feel like it's too late. We're going to get hit with that reduction in cost and then they're not going to be able to go back on it. I feel like it's probably going to be here to stay. And that's why I want to get these videos out now, because I think that if we got a chance of anything being done, anything, just for them to look at it for an extra week and actually, you know, come up with what we might be a better decision. I might be wrong. I might be looking at this all the wrong way. But I do feel like loot drops in solo and duo, trio need to be looked at. Drop rates, quality of loot needs to be looked at again a little bit. Because in Legendary, you certainly don't get much better than you do in Heroic. I think all that stuff needs to be looked at again before they start making the game easy mode and letting us just click through menus in the optimization station to get God roll gear. I want to play the game, even with the content we've got now. I'm sure most people will agree, even if we don't get any new content, we would rather be playing the game, getting caches, getting drops, and getting loot that way than basically using SHDs to upgrade all of our pieces of gear to God roll. Hopefully that makes sense and hopefully that gives some kind of reasoning behind why I did the optimization video and why I think the cost is going to be too low. Essentially, I think we will lose the player base really quickly unless something major to the division comes along that is a game changer. And I want people to still play the game. I still love the game. I want reasons to play it. And right now at the moment we've got the Resident Evil apparel event coming up in a few days, and after that we don't know yet. We am thoroughly expecting an announcement at some point soon what we're going to get for year 3, or is there going to be a year 3? I guess we will see very soon. I hope there is some kind of major content coming. But that's my thoughts, guys. Let me know what you think in the comments down below. Would adjusting drop rates, would making them better for the solo and the duo players in the game, would making them drop rates better, giving us more loot on the floor, take away the worries about the optimization station? I think it would. Let me know what you think in the comments below. The game's older now, there's less people playing it. So the more, what's wrong with sprinkling a few more drops here, there and everywhere to give us more materials to then go over and use the optimization station? I don't think there's anything wrong with that, but I whittled on way too much and I'm getting ranty now. I'm ranting. So come and check me out over on Twitch, twitch.tv/DJTICKLE. I'll be streaming there most days. I could be streaming right now. Come and say hello. Check out the links down below in the description. Give me a thumbs up if you can to help me out with that YouTube algorithm. I would really appreciate it. And then hit that subscribe button for much more Division content. And I'll see you in the next one. Thank you for watching, everybody. Goodbye.